I know
Me and Curtis got issues.
What's up with now? Come on, you ain't got no
Curtis has to
got-
you know, me and Curtis got
I
issues.
know you ain't got no issues.
He
with
down in
Curtis.
Shreveport acting a fool. But I ain't gonna put you in
He
that.
in Shreveport doing what?
Acting a fool.
I can't know nothing about that. I'm trying to be the actor and trying to get a
Guess
job.
what? And guess what? I'm gonna tell you something right now. Millennium
50, I don't know nothing
Studios
about no
is
Shreveport.
open.
Something wild's going down around Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and it all starts with a voice that hip-hop knows not to take lightly. Jaguar Wright, the fearless singer turned truth dropper, is once again shaking the table with some serious accusations. She's calling out the rap mogul himself, labeling him a total hypocrite, a man who exposes other artists' secrets but hides his own behind the scenes. In her fiery interview on Real Life Productions, Street Stars, Wright didn't hold back for a second. She claimed 50 Cent has actually threatened her, saying he's been creeping through Shreveport with private investigators, trying to silence her for good. That's not all. She branded him a fraud, a master manipulator, and dropped hints that he owes her something way deeper than just money. She says he owes her silence.
Nobody. In Hollywood specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
Now, if these words came from anyone else, people might just shrug them off, but coming from Jaguar Wright, they hit different. She's warning everyone that there's more going on behind 50's powerful image than meets the eye. We all know 50 Cent as hip-hop's no-nonsense truth teller, the one who mocks Diddy, clowns his rivals, and acts like he fears no one. But Wright's claims twist that image completely, painting a picture of a man who can dish it out, but can't handle the heat when the spotlight flips on him. It's that classic contradiction that keeps every scandal alive. The one who swears they've got receipts might be the one hiding the real truth. Jaguar Wright didn't just toss 50 Cent's name into her usual mix of celebrity drama this time. She framed him as part of something way bigger, a deep pattern of intimidation, silence, and hidden power moves. Her words weren't random gossip, they were a direct shot at the top. During her Street Stars interview, Wright's message hit like a challenge to the entire system, not just one man. And this wasn't whispered behind closed doors. It was all caught on camera, viewed by hundreds of thousands of people. She made sure the world heard every word loud and clear. Wright's whole reputation has been built on naming names without fear. She's the same woman who called out Diddy for exploiting young performers, accused Jay-Z and Beyonce of controlling more than just their image, and even claimed that certain people running black television are tied to federal operations. Every time she's spoken up, it's triggered chaos, backlash, legal threats, videos taken down, yet she always comes back swinging. So when she turned her fire toward 50 Cent, it wasn't out of nowhere. By then, she had already survived lawsuits, network bans, and waves of online hate. That track record makes her latest words hit even harder, because they're coming from someone who's battled giants in the industry and is still standing to talk about it. During her real-life interview, Jaguar Wright tried to laugh it off when she joked that 50 Cent owes her a new couch, but that smile didn't last long. The energy shifted fast. She followed up saying, "He's down in Shreveport acting a fool, but I ain't gonna put you in that." To her followers, that line wasn't just casual talk. It sounded like a hidden message.
Be Mr. Jackson if you're nasty.
Can 50 Cent produce himself right now? Because he been bullying people, man. I ain't gonna be on set getting shot at.
He ain't bullying me.
Blood, check this out.
He ain't bullying me.
Blood, check this out.
She was dropping clues without spilling everything just yet. Not long after, the internet detectives went wild. Within hours, bloggers started linking her words to unconfirmed reports about 50 Cent's private team being spotted in Louisiana while he was supposedly working on a film project. According to the rumors, Wright believes those investigators weren't there for business, they were there for her. If that's true, it flips the whole narrative. The man famous for clowning rivals online might be secretly trying to clean up his own mess in the dark. And that's where the irony hits hard. This is the same 50 Cent who's built a whole brand off of exposing people, posting mugshots, digging through court files, and cracking jokes while other celebrities' reputations crumble. Just look at his latest move against Sean Diddy Combs. He's producing a full-blown documentary about Diddy's alleged crimes, setting himself up as hip-hop's moral compass. But if Wright's story checks out, that spotlight he's shining on others might just swing right back at him. While 50 Cent keeps calling out others for not taking accountability, his own track record is packed with secrets behind sealed doors. His legal history runs deep, stacked with sealed settlements, bankruptcy filings, and old assault accusations that never fully disappeared. Court archives trace it all the way back to 1994, when he faced charges for substance possession, followed by a 2003 weapons case, a wild 2004 crowd-jumping incident that left people hurt, and a 2013 domestic dispute that ended with fines and probation. Those aren't rumors. That's straight from public record. So when Jaguar Wright says he's built his empire while hiding what he wants condemned in others, suddenly it doesn't sound so far-fetched. It sounds like she's holding up a mirror he doesn't want to face. Then comes the mysterious Shreveport link.
I'm over Curtis. I'm over Curtis. Because the only reason he's kissing up to Jay-Z right now, trying to manipulate the circumstances of what's supposed to happen at the Super Bowl.
Between 2023 and early 2024, Jackson spent long stretches in Louisiana filming Skill House, a movie produced under his G-Unit Films label. But soon after, he shocked everyone by filing a $5 million lawsuit to block the film's release, claiming there were major breaches of contract. On paper, it looked like a regular business move, but local production insiders started whispering something different. They said that lawsuit dropped right when rumors about possible Offset misconduct started floating around. Those whispers never hit big media until Wright brought up Shreveport again. Now people are wondering, Thak, was that lawsuit really about creative control or was it damage control? Was 50 trying to protect his project or protect his image? The timing's just too perfect to ignore. And while all that's unfolding, his pattern of heavy-handed legal tactics keeps stacking up. He's fighting to keep every door to his past locked tight. 50 Cent's been busy in the courtroom, suing old business partners, production crews, and even ex-employees for leaks and so-called defamation claims. On the surface, he calls it brand protection, but when you line that up next to Jaguar Wright's accusations about threats and surveillance, it all starts to sound a lot darker. It feels less like business moves and more like a warning shot to anyone daring to speak on him. Each new case doesn't just look defensive, it looks personal. What makes it even wilder is how much 50's entire image is built on control. He's always clowning others, roasting Diddy for hiding, mocking Jay-Z for skipping Summer Jam, and dragging Rick Ross and Benzino over their personal drama. To the public, he plays the part of the fearless boss who never blinks. But look a little closer and there's something else behind those Instagram posts and headlines. A growing trail of lawsuits, behind-the-scenes tension, and quiet intimidation rumors. Industry insiders are starting to wonder if all those online beefs are more than just jokes. Maybe they're smoke screens, because every time Jaguar Wright or another insider starts getting too close to spilling something big, suddenly a fresh feud pops up out of nowhere. One week he's cracking jokes about Young Thug's courtroom mess, and people can't help but ask, what's he really trying to distract us from? 1 minute, 50 Cent's throwing shots at Rick Ross. The next, he's talking about calling up Donald Trump for pardons. The pattern never stops. Every time something starts heating up around his name, he finds a way to stay trending while sliding attention away from the accusations aimed straight at him. It's like clockwork.
I'm not poking a bear. I'm saying that he's a stone. And I've spoken to 2 men he's lived in sales with, who you had sex with. Curtis! No, I'm not saying allegedly. And you know it.
His feud with Rick Ross recently got ugly. Ross took things way too far by mentioning 50's young son on social media, hinting there's family tension behind the scenes. That post set off major outrage online. But for 50, it also served as a perfect smokescreen. It gave him an excuse to lash out publicly, shifting the focus back to the drama and away from the deeper claims coming from Jaguar Wright and others. Then Benzino jumped into the chaos, throwing shots of his own and dragging 50's former partner, Daphne Joy, into the mix, connecting her name to the ongoing Diddy investigations. Suddenly, Wright's words about powerful men in the industry using intimidation to protect their networks didn't sound like wild conspiracy talk anymore. They started to sound like a real pattern forming in plain sight, and it's always the same names circling the same storms: Diddy, Ross, Benzino, and now 50. Despite his image as a self-made boss, Curtis Jackson's past still comes with a long paper trail. Court files confirm arrests linked to substances, weapons, and violent confrontations dating all the way back to when he was just 19. His rise to mogul status didn't erase that, it just rebranded it. For years, the media sold it as a redemption story, the hustler turned businessman. But now, Jaguar Wright's words flip that narrative upside down, hinting that his success wasn't built on transformation. It was built on concealment, powered by the same cutthroat instincts that kept him alive in the first place. The streets aren't just talking anymore, they're being used to control the story.
I think a lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not. So this is actually a real project that's being made under his G-Unit movie and TV studio.
Whispers are spreading that what we see online might be part of a much bigger cover-up. Even 50 Cent's so-called crusade for truth and transparency in hip-hop is starting to look suspicious. His upcoming documentary about Diddy, once seen as bold journalism, now feels shady. Because if he's so quick to dig into everyone else's secrets, why are there rumors that he's threatening people connected to his own? Jaguar Wright's claims make that question impossible to ignore. She insists she's being watched, that people have warned her to stay quiet about what she's seen. If that's true, it forces everyone to take a step back and question 50's moral stance. Could the man who built his brand as hip-hop's truth teller actually be using exposure as a weapon to protect himself? And it doesn't stop there. Sources close to real-life productions have whispered that some parts of Wright's interview were cut before release, allegedly the sections where she talked about a private confrontation with 50 Cent's own reps. The studio has stayed completely silent about those missing clips, refusing to say a word. Add that to the mysterious Louisiana lawsuit and the total silence coming from 50's camp, and it starts to form a chilling picture. A man who spent years controlling his story might finally be losing his grip on it. And as all this tension keeps building, we're left remembering what Wright herself said during that chaotic sit-down with Orlando Brown. She claimed she wasn't going to put him in that. What exactly was she holding back? So now the question hanging in the air is, what exactly is that? Because if the rumors about intimidation, private investigators, and missing footage are even half true, this might be bigger than any rap beef or courtroom drama. The louder 50 Cent laughs online, the more it feels like that laughter is a cover. He's trying to drown out something we were never supposed to hear. But here's the real twist. What if Jaguar Wright isn't the only one holding secrets about Curtis Jackson? What if there are others who know exactly what's going on, but choose silence over danger? People who've seen things behind the scenes and decided it's safer to keep their mouths shut. That possibility makes the whole situation way more chilling, because if there really are folks too scared to talk, then what did they witness? The deeper we dig into 50's recent moves, the lawsuits, the feuds, the sudden distractions, the more it all starts connecting. Each headline feels like a puzzle piece snapping into place, forming a picture way bigger than anyone expected. And just maybe, that's the picture 50's been fighting so hard to keep hidden. All the pieces are starting to paint one clear picture, an obsession with control. Jaguar Wright might have been the first to call it out publicly, but that pattern didn't start with her. It stretches years back, through quiet settlements, vanished court documents, and legal fights that always seem to end in silence. There's always a wall right before the truth hits daylight.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Every time someone gets too close, the story suddenly changes direction. That $5 million Skillhouse lawsuit still hangs over 50 Cent's empire like a chapter that never got finished. At first, it looked like a simple contract dispute between a producer and his partner. Business as usual. But now, with Wright's claims echoing through the industry, the story hits way different. Insiders in Shreveport haven't forgotten how filming came to a sudden stop. Crews told to zip their lips and not mention certain footage that mysteriously vanished. Then, just weeks later, boom, the lawsuit dropped. The timing's too perfect to ignore. Could that legal move have been less about getting paid and more about wiping out a storyline before it ever hit the internet? That's the question production circles can't stop whispering about. And it's not just talk. Several local workers claim they were suddenly hit with new NDA forms after the project had already wrapped. Who does that? For people watching closely, that's more than just a red flag. It's a full-on siren blaring through Hollywood's back rooms. Long before Jaguar Wright started calling him out, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson was already facing heat out in Los Angeles. He got tied to a messy private video leak that turned into a full-blown revenge-style scandal. In the end, he had to pay damages after being found responsible for distributing explicit material of a former partner during a feud with another celebrity.
There's a lot of people, 50, I feel like he don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh, 50's coming.
That incident alone raised eyebrows. But when you stack it next to his 2013 domestic dispute, where cops charged him with vandalism and aggression, you start to see the pattern loud and clear. Every time a crisis hits, it's got the same two themes: control and exposure. And just when the pressure's about to land on him, he flips the spotlight by blasting someone else online. It's like a survival tactic. He stirs chaos to redirect the narrative before anyone can dig too deep. Even his 2015 bankruptcy is getting a second look. Back then, people thought it was just a smart financial move, classic 50 strategy. But analysts now point out that the timing matched up with multiple lawsuits, including one over that private video and another tied to unpaid endorsements. Some are wondering if it wasn't just about protecting money, but protecting secrets. A former associate even claimed the bankruptcy wasn't financial panic, it was damage control. They say it was used to freeze assets while 50's lawyers quietly negotiated with top entertainment attorneys connected to major networks. And those talks, according to that same insider, weren't just about debt. They allegedly involved suppressed material. Nothing's been confirmed, but if there's truth to that, then 50's business moves might have been doing double duty, saving his empire while scrubbing away the stories he didn't want the world to see.
That's not really beef though. That's just competitive energy.
Competitiveness.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him.
Okay.
That hunger for dominance isn't just a 50 Cent thing. It runs deep through the culture of hip-hop, where power equals information. In this world, knowing too much can make or break a career. Just look at what's happening with Diddy. His scandals are proof that influence can act like a shield, protecting misconduct behind closed doors. For years, whispers about corporate silence have followed Jay-Z and Roc Nation too, and even Drake's been rumored to use legal firepower to keep ex-employees from spilling private details. That's the unspoken rule of the game: protect the brand no matter the cost. But inside that system, 50 Cent stands out because he's taken that strategy to another level. He doesn't just troll people online, he turns lawsuits into weapons. When others post memes, he files paperwork, he sues, he collects, he hits back through the courts like it's sport. It's business turned into defense, professionalism used as armor. Still, we can't overlook how his non-stop spotlight on Diddy fits that very same playbook. On the surface, 50 looks like the ultimate truth chaser, the guy producing documentaries and calling out industry corruption. But behind the camera, insiders from the streaming world are whispering something different. They claim he's controlling what gets exposed and what gets cut. One producer allegedly tied to the Diddy docuseries revealed that several segments referencing mutual associates were quietly removed before the big bidding war began.
Ross and 50, right? Ross is not, they got a beef because 50 didn't say what up to him. That's just a New York thing.
Right.
At one of the awards. I wasn't there, but that's how it sparred.
Right.
They ain't say what's up to me. Because down south, y'all have more of a...
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Bring you an apple pie to your crib. From New York, it's looking right straight right.
Absolutely.
The network hasn't confirmed those edits, but speculation's growing. People are saying those scenes might have hit too close to home. Because if 50's name popped up anywhere near Diddy's alleged crimes, it could blur the line between journalist and participant, and that's a line he definitely wouldn't want crossed. It's no small detail that 50 Cent once bragged about ghostwriting for Diddy back in 2001, the exact era that's now under federal investigation. That little flex hits way different now. It makes you wonder, what does he really know about the stories he's so eager to expose? Could his inside knowledge be deeper than he's letting on? Then there are the claims from two former tour staffers who worked with him in the mid-2000s. They say 50 kept private contacts in both Miami and New York, people allegedly tied to some of Diddy's own business circles. One of those staffers even insists that a few of those same names later popped up in investigations connected to trafficking allegations. None of this has been proven in court, but when you start lining it up next to Jaguar Wright's accusation that the same people run everything, those coincidences stop feeling random real quick. If there's even a small overlap between those networks, then 50 Cent's loud crusade against Diddy might not be what it seems. What if his attacks are just a move to get ahead of the storm, to control the story before it circles back toward him? That thought alone is enough to make anyone pause. Meanwhile, Jaguar Wright isn't letting up. She's doubled down since that explosive interview, teasing online that she's got proof, recordings, and emails showing that people have tried to pressure her into taking back what she said. She hasn't dropped them yet, but her message is clear. She's still holding her ground, and she's not done talking. Jaguar Wright claims she's keeping those files safe, and fans are convinced they might hold the proof she's been hinting at, evidence of the threats she described. Some even believe her brief disappearance from social media earlier this year wasn't her choice at all. When she came back days later, firing off posts about unnamed New York men in suits, it only made the mystery grow louder.
I was locked up with one of Diddy's security guards, Big Bones. Word. That was Diddy, like, man. That was my man. That's my man till this day. Named Bonds. It's my dude.
If she's really sitting on solid receipts, people can't help but ask, what could be so dangerous that it's bringing this much pressure down on her? And while all that's playing out, the circle around 50 Cent keeps getting messier. Lately, he's reignited his long-standing beefs with Rick Ross and Benzino, two rivals who've both dragged his name into personal drama involving Daphne Joy, the mother of his son. On the surface, those jabs might look petty, just typical rap beefs, but some insiders think it's way more calculated. They say these public shots could be tests, little probes to see how far they can push before 50's lawyers step in swinging. Every insult, every rumor, every lawsuit, it's like a game of chess, and 50's playing defense while pretending to be on the attack. Each silence afterward feels planned, like every move is part of a bigger strategy to keep control of the narrative. And now the web's stretching wider than ever. Lawsuits, revenge leaks, threats, film shutdowns, social media feuds, all spinning around one man whose entire empire runs on one image, the man who can't be touched. But what happens when the man who made a fortune exposing everyone else becomes the one whose own secrets start to spill? How long can Curtis 50 Cent Jackson keep his empire standing before someone finally breaks that tight code of silence around him? Maybe Jaguar Wright isn't just another name in the chaos. Maybe she's the spark that lights something way bigger. Because if even half of what she's saying is real, this isn't just another celebrity feud. This could be the start of a full-on cultural shakeup. Think about it. The guy who spent years putting others on blast might now be the one under the lens. And when the truth finally comes out, will 50 still be the one holding the camera? Or will he become the story being filmed? The clock's ticking and the tension's only growing. Whatever's coming next, one thing's for sure, this story's far from over. Some truths don't fade, they just go quiet until someone dares to turn the volume back up. If you're following this drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. Is Jaguar Wright exposing something real, or is this just another storm in hip-hop's endless battle for power?